Okay. Today, what we're going to do is same setup only. We're going to include a Sonar Cube, guys. In this session, we're going to discuss about how to install Sonar Cube, also how to integrate Jenkins with the Sonar Cube, guys. With this, right? So we will create a VM which includes all these tools. Say like Jenkins we have installed yesterday. Java it is already there since this is prerequisite to install Jenkins, and then Maven we have already installed from the global tool configuration. JUnit I will cover guys right now, and SonarQube I am going to install right now guys. Okay, if you have any doubts, right, please let me know guys. Okay, so first of all, right, let's see what is SonarQube. Okay, SonarQube is an open source platform, guys. This is mainly used to check the code quality. That means you will have some. If you see some any in India, let's say like okay, products will be there, ISO certificate, something like that will be there, right? So you are going to set some set of standard. If any product, if you want to certify it, right, it need to meet certain criteria, guys. Similarly, in the software also, right, we'll have some certain criteria to certify a product, just like that, let's say we have a development team who has like 20 people, okay. So some can write quality code, some cannot be write some quality code, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to integrate Jenkins with the SonarQube. In the SonarQube, right, we have a set of guideline, guys. What is the best practice to write the Java code, okay. That part I will cover within few minutes. Whenever there is some new change happen, right, the pipeline will get trigger, guys, and it will clone the code. Uh, from the Maven, right, we're going to integrate with the SonarQube, and there we're going to validate all the code quality metrics, guys. Let's see how it will do. Okay, and also one more thing, one more advantage with the SonarQube is like we can have some built rule set. If you want, right, we can also add some additional new code quality rules also, guys. That's one of the advantage. Also, right, it's going to support more than 25 plus languages, guys. It's not only for Java, say like Node.js, TypeScript, HTML, CSS, in whatever programming languages are available, right? For most of the programming languages, right, our SonarQube can get supported, guys. Okay. So let's go. What is the benefit actually here? Okay, when as I mentioned during our demo sessions, right? When the project is getting signed, right, there is some agreement. Let's say like code quality of quality code also, right? One of the KPI, guys, key performance indicator. That means whatever code we are for deploying to the production environment, right? That should go to a set of checks. That means there should not any bugs, vulnerabilities, code smells will be fine, guys. Okay. If you have these kind of issues, right, your application will be little bit slow, guys. Compared to quality code, right? Your application may not be performing very well. Also, CPU and memory utilization can be very high, guys, if you don't follow any coding standard. Also, there may be also possibility of hacking also. So as I mentioned earlier, like two types of attacks will be there, one from the networking layer, one from the application layer. From the networking layer, we can using some security groups, right, we can restrict. From the application layer, right, all these checks we need to do, guys. Okay, so I will share this slide, that's not a problem. Now let's go for the live demonstration, how to install and how to configure SonarQube, guys. Okay, let me, here I have created a file called folder called practice. Here I am doing all the installation part. Now let me bring up a VM. How to do that, guys? If you want to bring up a VM, I need to run command called vagrant space up from the vagrant and Oracle VirtualBox. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. It will bring up my VM. So I think some of the guys are pinging me, guys, separately in one-to-one. So they are unable to bring up this VM. So what we can do is after completion of the class, right, you please stay back. Whoever has issues, right, I will try to help you guys on this part. Okay, so that you are also up to date. So you don't need to worry from the from tomorrow onwards, right? It will be more interactive sessions, guys. Once you have this installation, right, that will be easy to understand. So until you have done this practice, right, that will be very, very tough to understand. You will understand, but how it will work out in real time, right? That maybe you are not very, very well aware, guys. Now let me bring up the VM. It's going to booting. It will take a minute, I guess, maximum. Okay, so my VM is up, guys. When this message came, right, I will be able to log into the server. So let me open my SSH tool. And how to log in? I need to pass the host name and username. Let me open new session, guys. SSH, click on SSH. Remote host will be like local host. What is the username, guys? Vagrant 2222. Since I have this port mapping, okay, I'm going to use this one. Let me log into the server, guys. This is how we can log into the server. It will ask for password. Let me enter it as a Vagrant. Let's see. Now I am into the Linux machine, guys. I just logged into Linux machine. Now I have created a small wiki page to install and configure the SonarQube. Let's follow these guidelines. Okay, here also, right, I'm installing our SonarQube on the CentOS only, guys. Okay, so to do this, right, I need to download the software. Okay, so I have some set of steps, guys. I will share with you. Let me share it right now. I have shared the link here, guys, how to install and configure SonarQube. Let's follow the steps, guys. I will follow same thing as I promised, right? 50% will be hands-on on it. Okay. Now, before installing, right, I need to download the package, right? For that, I'm going to go to the OPT folder. Okay. Now, let me go to the OPT folder. I think I have opened another session. Let me close it. Okay, currently if you see, right, present working directory will be /opt, guys. Now, as I mentioned in the initial sessions, right, if you want to download any package from the internet, right, you can use the wget command. Also, extension will be any file from the internet, guys, any valid file. Okay, now I'm going to download the SonarQube 7.6 version. Okay, this is my URL and this is my package name, guys, SonarQube 7.6. Okay, let me download this one. It will take some time, guys. This is like 200 MB file will be there minimum. So meanwhile, right, if you have any doubts, right, please ask me, guys, anything. So if you want more information, right, say like if you want to learn more on Linux or shell scripting, so what kind of things need to be covered, right, please let me know, guys. I will try to answer you right now. One more thing, guys, you please update the we have a form here, Google form. Please free to update this, guys, with all your details. I think from Monday onwards, right, the URL may get changed. So you please update your data in this in the Google form page, so that we are going to reshare our updated link, guys, to you. We have also a separate group, guys. We have created a WhatsApp group just for your batch. If you have any doubts, right, any concerns, right, you can always reach out on this group, guys. So please update this form to get added to this WhatsApp group, guys. Okay. Now it's time to download the file, 80%.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, hi Venkatesh. Good morning. Sai here.
Hi,
I
Sai.
mean, yeah, hi, hi. Unfortunately, what happened for a couple of days, I could not, practice your sessions, what you have already told. So yesterday I
Yes.
got time and I have opened I have gone through the first class where you have given us task to upload the Maven and three things you have shared us, right? Three links to
Yes.
upload. Yeah.
Git Bash, Vagrant, and Oracle VirtualBox. I asked you
Yeah,
to install that the
yeah,
first
yeah.
task one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have done that.
Mhm.
So, is it possible or is it possible like we have an session like what you have
We can
done
have.
yesterday and day before yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes,
that we
Sai.
can do it
So
on.
we'll do one thing, Sai.
Yeah,
May not be tomorrow. So you please try. You can ping me in the Microsoft Teams here. I'm trying to
yeah,
reply to a couple of people also.
okay,
Okay. If that time also, if the issue is not fixed, right? What we will do
yeah,
in the Saturday, right? Morning hours
yeah,
we can have a call just for fixing issues. Okay. So everybody by the Monday, right? You should be have this lab setup in your local machine.
okay, okay.
Say like
Yeah,
VM should be up and running. At least Jenkins should be installed. That is my expectation by the Monday. So I will take a one-to-one session. Sorry, it's not a one-to-one active group call only. So someone can share the screen. I will try to guide you guys. If there is some issues, right? So everybody can do same thing, can follow same thing. Okay.
okay.
I
So
have
we'll
a
be
plan
having
for that.
an.
So
Yeah,
Saturday,
yeah.
right? You can connect separately.
Sure. That would be better because we should not disturb the class also.
Yes,
Yeah.
I exactly. So as we promised, right, 50% hand, everything will be hands-on on live only. No need of that worry. Okay, I have the plan for that also. We will
Oh,
connect.
sure. Thank you, Venkatesh.
Okay. Just now I have downloaded the package, right? This is in the zip format, guys. Okay. To how to unzip it, guys? I need to run command called unzip SonarQube. Okay. Since I am in the OPT folder, right? I need to follow the sudo command. Let me see here. As you can see, same command I am downloading here. After downloading package, right? I am running this particular command. Let me copy paste for your reference. So now I have extracted the SonarQube file. In case if you got some exception, say like unzip file, unzip package is not there, something like that, right? What you need to do? You need to do just sudo space. Let me show you that command also. Yum install unzip. Okay, unzip space -5 guys. This is how you can install any package. This one I tried to cover yesterday. If the package is not there, if the package is there, right, you will be extracted your zip file just like this. How I have done. If the package is not there, right, you need to install the unzip package. Okay, it will say like unzip is up to date, something like that. Let's see what it will show. As you can see, right, unzip package, it's already installed, so it's not installing doing any activity. If it's not installed, right, it will get downloaded and it will get installed, guys. This is how I can unzip the file. Then what I'm going to do is I don't want to see the version, so using move command, right, I'm going to rename the SonarQube 7.6 folder to the SonarQube, guys. Okay, now let me do that step. If you see the current structure, right, what other things are there here, I have the zip file and I have extracted to the SonarQube right now. Okay, now let me do the some set of steps. I have some configuration. If you want, right, if you want to change the host name and port, right, you can do this, guys. Otherwise, right, you can ignore this step. This is not mandatory. Okay. Also, in the so currently, right, I'm going to use the default database H2, which is provided by SonarQube. In the when we're working in the hands-on, right, real time, right. So SonarQube, we need to integrate with the Postgres database or MySQL database, guys. That thing, right, I'm not covering right now. In the future classes, right, I will cover, guys. Since this is very initial days, right, you will get. I don't want to dump more on your heads. Okay. Then I have one more command, guys, here. SonarQube, this particular folder, right? I'm going to assign some set of permissions, guys. Okay. Vagrant is the username and Vagrant is the group name. This one, right, I will cover in the Linux and shell scripting classes also. Before going to Azure DevOps, right? I will cover that session also, guys. initially, right, you just follow whatever I'm going to teach you, okay, without getting high level overview, right? So you may not be understand much. Now I have assigned the permissions. Let's see what is done. Earlier, right, SonarQube folder has permissions say like root is the username and root is the group name, guys. Right now, using this particular command, what I have done is I have changed permission to the Vagrant username and Vagrant group name. As you can see here, right, the permissions got updated. Now let's move to further steps, guys. Okay, I have the particular path here, OPT, SonarQube, Linux 86 minus 64. In Windows, right, you may have had something like 32-bit, 64-bit, right, OS platform. Just like that, in Linux also, right, we can have that 99%, right, everybody uses the 86, 64 only. Very rare people will use the 32-bit, guys. Now, let me go to this particular path. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start my SonarQube. Okay, sonar.sh space start, guys. This is the command to start the SonarQube. It will take some time. So yeah, it is saying that it is started the SonarQube. Now, as I mentioned earlier, right, if you want to see whether any process is running or not, right, how to check, guys? PS space -EF space grep for the sonar. Yesterday I have grep for the Jenkins, right? Just like that, I can also grep for the sonar, guys. Okay. Now I have, as you can see, the process is being started with the Vagrant username. Okay. If you want to see the logs, right, I can go to the, let me clear the screen. To clear the screen, clear command is there. If you want to see the logs, right, cd opt SonarQube /logs, you can go to the logs folder. I have a couple of logs here. One is the ES log sonar.log, guys. Okay. Now what I will do is I'm going to tell this particular sonar.log. It will take some time. Let's wait. Meanwhile, right, if you want, we can try to access the SonarQube on the 99. By default, the port will be 9000, guys. So it will take some time. SonarQube starting, it will initiate the DB. So in the logs, right, you can see that. Okay. Currently, we are using the default database, right? H2 database. It is saying this is the driver name. In the real time, right, we will change it to MySQL Postgres database, guys. So in the real time, how we are going to use it? There will be two kind of scenarios, guys. If the project is small project, right, they may opt for centralized SonarQube. That means each organization, right, they will manage a separate SonarQube server. So whoever want, right, they will provide access to you. And what you can do is you need to integrate with your Jenkins machine. That is one way. Otherwise, right, there is another way. You can have a project particular SonarQube, guys. That means you have a client, say like HDFC, Axis, anything, guys. Okay, you have a project. From there, right, just for that project, right, you can install a SonarQube in the servers. In that case, right, these documentation can help you guys how to install and how to configure SonarQube on the Linux machines. Once you have installed, right, you can try to integrate with the Jenkins. Okay. Now let's wait until it is up, right? It is allow the login page. Let's wait. Meanwhile, right, if you have any doubts or queries, right, let me know, guys. I'm happy to help you.
Hi, Venkatesh. Good morning.
Yes, Amit.
Regarding this Sonar, you started in Linux machine or in the local host in the laptop itself?
No. I'm nothing. I'm not installing anything on the laptop. On Windows machine, especially. Whatever I'm performing, right, I'm creating VM using Vagrant and Oracle VirtualBox. From there, right, I am connecting to the SH tool, mobile external, and from there I am installing. So everything, right, I'm installing in the virtual machine server, Linux server, you can say.
So using Linux server, you're installing in virtual Windows machine.
No, it's not Windows machine. It is the Linux machine.
Linux. So you're opening in this Chrome, no? This.
Yes.
So what is that? Why can't we open in this virtual machine only?
We can do it. I just run the port mapping. That's it. I will be very comfortable, when opening Google Chrome. If you want, right, we can also try that approach. Maybe tomorrow, right, I can show you how to do that part within the Oracle virtual machine only. So what is happening is the image size will be very high. If you want UI also, say like Google Chrome, all these packages, right? The size, VM size will be very high. So what I am going to do is, whatever things I want to install, right, I will install in the Linux machine. Yesterday I have shown you, right, some port mapping I will do here. Okay, from the guest to the host port mapping I will do it here, and so that I will be able to access everything from my local laptop. That means Windows machine also I can access. So I will
So
not.
the virtual machine and this local laptop will be mapped together.
Yes, both are interlinked with the setting.
Okay.
As you can see here, right, we can also do that one within machine also, right? We can do that part. So as I mentioned, the size will be very high. That's the problem. Okay. So what it is saying is SonarQube is up. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the page got popped up, guys. So by default, right, username and password will be admin. We need to change it as per our requirement. Admin is the by default username. Now let's see, guys, how to integrate SonarQube with the Jenkins. Okay. Jenkins already installed in the same virtual machine. So this is yesterday I have created sample Java, sample Maven job, right? Just like that, let's create a new Maven job, guys. Okay. How to create a job, guys? Go to log into the Jenkins, then click on the new item, then give some name, say like base Java app with SonarQube integration. Let's call it as okay. Now let's choose the Maven project here. Click on OK. Here I'm going to all my code is being hosted on the GitHub, right? So I need to choose the Git here. Okay. Here I need to pass some URL, guys. So I have created a sample repository for our testing purpose. Let's take this project, Java project SonarQube, which is very minimal. Let me add it here. Now the error will go on. Sometime back this is empty, right? Now this is the master branch. Based upon your requirement, right? You need to check, guys. Okay, which branch you want to build. Let me click on this one. Here, right, you can get the list of branches and list of tags, guys. If you want to build some different branch, right? I mean, you will get some list here. You can choose anyone as per your requirement. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to up to the Git part I have integrated here. Then I need to go to the Maven part also. Here I need to give something like yesterday. What kind of goals I have given, guys? Clean, package. So up to when you do this, right, it will only create a package, guys. Okay, Java package. It won't integrate with the SonarQube. To integrate with the SonarQube, we need to run something like that: sonar : sonar. When you pass this argument, right, it will be integrated with the SonarQube. By default, right, it will get connected to the localhost : 9000, guys. If you want to change, right, we'll have a set of options for that also. We can integrate that part also. So those all this stuff, right, we'll cover in the further sessions, guys. Okay, clean, package, sonar : sonar, guys. Currently this is empty, right? Our expectation will be after successful completion of this job execution, right? We should be able to see the code quality metrics for this particular repository in the SonarQube, guys. This is our expectation. Let me save this. Now to trigger the job, right, I need to click on build now, guys. I click on the build now. If you want to see the logs, right, you can click on the job and you can click on the console output. Now it is following same steps, guys. First of all, it is invoking the Git client. What it is doing is it trying to check out all the code base from the GitHub. Using Git client, it is trying to clone all the code to the Jenkins server. Here it is doing this, it is invoking the Maven now. As you can see here, pom.xml, it is taking whatever arguments I have passed, right? Clean, package, sonar colon sonar. All these arguments it's been taking and it is started scanning, guys. This is for the Java, guys. Just like that, right? The programming can be different. Let's say like Python or SonarQube, anything, right? The steps will be common, guys. That's it. Okay. The way how you are going to integrate can be varied from the programming to programming. So since Java is extensively has the plugin support, right? From the Maven based plugin support. So we just need to pass an argument called sonar colon sonar, guys. That's it. It will try to integrate automatically. Now what it's doing is it's create the compile the code. Okay, then what is it done? It is running some GUnit test cases, guys. Okay, whenever you have in the agile methodology, right? When you create some user story, right? If you want to close it, you need to attach all these metrics. Not only is the feature development, you also need some set of unit test cases also, guys. Unit test case you need to do, and you need to run this SonarQube analysis. When everything is succeeded, right, then only you need to mark it as a done. Okay. Now, so once the test case is execution completed, right, it is going to invoke the SonarQube, guys. Okay. So it is downloaded the Sonar Maven plugin and it scanned all my code base. Okay. It's taking like base path, working directory, all these things you can see. So quality profile for Java, XML, I will cover in within few minutes, guys, this one. And my code is in the Java, right? So it's invoking the Java plugin. Okay. Now it's created a page and it's updated the my SonarQube with the latest data, guys. Earlier that is empty. Now let's refresh the page. As you can see, right, I have a set of metrics, guys. Okay. Let me click on this particular project and see what is the level of data we have. Okay. First one is the bugs. So I will give you it as a task for you guys. You can explore more on this part. Okay. Bugs, vulnerabilities, code smells, guys. Bugs and vulnerability bugs, there should not be any bugs, guys, because this is kind of hacking. You know, when you have a lot of bugs, right, there may be chances of you're allowing hackers into your application. Vulnerabilities, right, this is kind of if it is severity 1, right, this has severity 2, guys. Vulnerability also should be as less as possible, guys. Similarly, code smells, what this guy will say, like this kind of coding standard, guys, very basic coding standard. Let's say like the class should not be something like this. You should use this particular method. So from the DevOps point of view, right, you don't need to worry. Developer need to worry on this part. Whatever code they are developing, right, that should be compatible with the Sonar way. Okay. If there is any code which is not up to the standard, right, it's going to mark something like this. If you see, right, move this file name to the package, replace the use of system out with system error logger. System out, this is kind of basic programming, right? You should use a logger. Just like that, right? We have a lot of rules, guys, which will be imposed on the Java code. Okay, from there you should be able to see all the metrics. Let's go back to the step, and we have coverage and unit test case, right? As I mentioned, right, whenever you are developing some new feature from the Java guys, they should also write some unit test cases, guys. Similarly, for Node.js also, right, they need to write some unit test case in the Jaspion, or there are some Mocha, there are some different frameworks will be there, test case framework for the Node.js or AngularJS also. These are headache with the developer, guys. Our team, our DevOps, we don't need to bother. Our duty is installing the SonarQube and integrating Sonar with the Jenkins. If there is some issues in the reports, right, we need to support it, guys. That's it. Now, whatever unit test case you have implemented, right, with that unit test cases, you'll have some code coverage, guys. So maybe QA, I think somebody is from QA background, I think. They will be very aware of this part. I will give it as a task, guys. I will share the details, what and all things you need to go. Then, if there is any duplication of code, that means you have some code already, you are like copy paste, you can think of, okay, not from internet. Within the code, right, class A is there, class B is there, okay. So if there is some similar code is duplicated in across the methods or classes, right, then you will be able to see here, guys, duplication. So they will allow the duplication, but not completely, up to certain point, like 2%, 3%, up to 5%, right? they can allow. If you more than 5% means developer will be in big problem. You should be avoid the duplication of code across the classes and across the methods, guys. As you can see here, right? Duplication percentage and how many lines of code he has duplicated. All these things, right? Our SonarQube can be identified, guys. Any doubt, guys, you have until now? I will pause here for 1 minute before going to further. Anything you can ask, guys. There's nothing like small or big. You can ask anything. I'm happy to answer. Anusha, Bharat, Devi, Harita, Krishna, Lubin, anything. You can ask anything, guys. I will try to answer here. I am passing for a couple of minutes.
Hello, Venkatesh.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the coverage?
Okay, coverage rate. Dilip Kumar, I think. You are
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
Sure. Okay. When you write some Java code, right? Some high-level overview I will give. Okay, let me open the code itself. You will be able to understand. Here, right? In my Java code, right? I have two things, guys. Here. One is with the main/Java. One is with the test/Java. Okay. Here, main.java in the sense, whatever coding functionality, right? Everything will go to the main branch, guys. Okay. This is my code. You can think of. However, all my JUnit, right? JUnit test cases will go to the test/Java. Here, the naming can do something like this, guys. Let me open in another tab. Hello world is my main code. Hello world test.java is my unit test case. Okay. Whatever code I have developed here, right? I have something like this, right? I'm going to verify this code in the unit test case. Okay. What I'm going to do is here, I have a test class here. This is some very basic, guys. In real time, right? I will take some real time example for better understanding. What I'm going to do is here, okay. I have imported my unit test module here. From there, I have created some kind of small test class. Here, this kind of annotation, guys. In the Java, from Java 1.8 or 9, I guess, if I remember correctly, these annotations came. I am marking it as this is the test case, not the my feature development. Okay. What I am doing is from this class, right? I'm going to call this module hello world, right? If you see here, right? I have a class called hello world. From the JUnit test code, I am calling this module and I am saying like say hello. That means hello world is the master class. You can say hello world dot say hello. When you say hello, right? I am passing this one, right? From here, the call is going to here. Say hello. And it is printing the hello world. What I'm going to see is it is just calling here, right? That means I have, let me copy. This is like 100% my code. Okay. Up to how much I have covered, guys? I have called this hello world and say hello. I have clicked on. That means up to this code, right? I have covered. Why it is saying 60%, right? I will cover. Let me open a notepad. My code base. How many lines I have? 8 lines total. Okay. So if I cover all these 8 lines, right, my code will be 100%. However, why it is saying 60% is I have called from the JUnit test case, right? Hello world.test. I'm calling this one first of all. That means this method is covered complete these lines. Then from here, right, I'm going to call the say hello also. Say hello is there. That means up to this particular code, this has been covered, guys. This one and this line. That means out of eight lines, right, I have covered up to 5 lines. That means 60% I have covered code. If you want to cover 100%, right, from the hello world class, I need to call this particular not covered also. then it will show like this is 100%. This is how, right, whatever feature development you have done, right, you need to validate in the unit testing also, guys. There will be two kind of testing will be there. Unit testing will be there, also feature testing will be there. Okay. This is some high level overview. This will be overloading. If you overload it, let me know, guys. Unit testing will be there. This will be taken care by the development team. Okay. Development. Feature testing will be taken by the QA team. Also, in the feature testing only, they can use different set of tools, guys. Like they can use like Cucumber, they can use it. Otherwise, there is Selenium framework also they can use it. Selenium for the web API testing. It will be different kind of methodologies, guys. As I mentioned, unit testing will be taken care by development team, guys. Our DevOps team, we don't need to worry. We just need to understand the concept. Just now I have mentioned, right? So in case if the developer mentioned, right, why I have developed some set of test cases, why my code coverage is like 60% only. As I mentioned, right, we can, if we have some knowledge, right, on the Java also, we can answer him. Otherwise, right, they can talk to the team leads. That's it. That's very straightforward, guys. From the development and from the DevOps end, right, we don't need to bother about this part. This is all headache with the development team. So if you want, we can move it to 100% also. As I mentioned, I just need to copy paste this line, and instead of the say hello, instead of say hello, I need to use this one, not covered. That's it. It will reach to 100%, guys. That's it. This is how the code coverage will come to picture. We can try this 100%. So if we have some time, right, I will try to show you how we can move to 100%. Okay. Let me know, guys, if you have any further doubts. I'm pausing here a couple of minutes. Okay, guys. So I think everybody is good. Let me move further, guys. So this is what we have seen. This is the first page only, guys. We have other data also. Issues are there. Here, whatever bugs and vulnerabilities we are seeing, right? Everything, all the data, right? We can see here, guys. What kind of, wherever we are seeing non-coding standard, we can see this one. Also, this kind of, some kind of graphical representative, we can see it here. And this is code. This is just for this particular project, guys. Sonar Maven example is there, right? So all the code, right, I can see here. As you can see here, right, in the source, what under lines are not covered, we can, if you want, right, we can see that part. As you can see here, right, up to these lines, right, this is got covered, guys. Okay, this line is not covered. Whatever green color we are seeing, right, all these code being covered in the unit test case. Okay, now this activity we don't need to bother. Here we have a set of rules. Let me show you this quality profile. Here, right, what I told you guys, each programming SonarQube will support up to the 25 languages. Also, we have a set of standard coding standards, right? So if you can see here, for C#, that means .NET framework, we have some set of 238 rules are there. For CSS, which is like a HTML and CSS framework, some set of rules are there. Flex, Go language, Java language, there are a lot of rules, guys, as you can see here. Currently, I'm using Java. It will by default, right, it will only identify what is the programming language and it's going to impose the rule. We don't need to explicitly mention, saying that this is my Java project, this is my .NET project. SonarQube, it will identify automatically, guys. We don't need to worry about it. If you want to see, right, what and all coding rules are there, right, if you are interested, right, you can click on this one. You can see all the rules, guys. So what is the bug rules are there? What is the vulnerability rules are there? As you can see here, all these things, right? These are all coding standard, guys. See here. Read line, schedule. So, I mean, this may be completely new to you. As I mentioned, you don't need to worry about this part. It's all developer thing. From our end, right, we need to know how to install and how to configure, integrate with the Jenkins. Up to that, we are good guys. All these things are right. Bug rules. Let's come to the code smell rules. You can see here, right? These are like different set of standard guys. Whatever developer writing code, right, that should be compatible with this one. Vulnerabilities. See, these are like different rules, guys. Any doubt, guys, you have until now? Okay, guys. We have one more topic to cover, quality gate. Okay. So what, as I mentioned, right, we can define a set of rules, guys. We can also make sure if the code quality is not up to standard, right, we can integrate SonarQube with the Jenkins, and we can also mark the job as a failure also. That one also we can do it. Okay. So to do it right, we can also, by default, right, I have something like Sonar Way. This is my quality gate. That means when you click on the projects, right, you can see this is passed or failed is right. Passed means this is got succeeded, guys. Failed means the quality gate got failed. So here, what else option you are seeing, right? This will be coming from the quality gate, guys. By default, this is only up to 2-3 years of experience, right? They will ask the questions on SonarQube. For any seniors, right? Mostly they don't ask any questions on SonarQube, guys. If you are from 2-3 years background, right? Please try to understand. I mean, when I have less experience, right? I have even I was asked some questions on SonarQube. Mostly, right? They will ask like, what is the default code coverage in the Sonar Way quality gate? It's just 80%. Okay. So, duplicated lines of code. I have mentioned, right? Is there any duplication of code, right? SonarQube can be identified after scanning. And if the percentage is less than, more than, right? Whatever percentage we have given here, it will mark it as a failed. Similarly, maintainability rating, reliability rating, security rating, all these will be depends on the lines of code, number of lines of code, number of classes, based upon duplication, also based upon the bugs and vulnerabilities, guys. All these options it will consider and it will mark it as a pass or failure here. Okay. If you want to create your own Sonar gateway, right, you can always create from here, guys. You can create your own quality gate. What I will do is test something like quality gate, something like that. Let me name it as test quality gate. Let me create this quality gate. Here I can use set of rules, guys, here as per my requirement. Add a condition. Let's say like condition coverage should be less than 60%. I have a condition. Okay, this is added here. You can add any condition just like this, guys, based upon your requirement. Say like duplication lines percentage is there. If you want, right, like a 6 up to 5%, you can see. As I mentioned, by default that is 80% for the code coverage. Duplicate like 2-3%, I guess. You can create your own set of conditions, guys. So when the project is getting initiated, right, in the real time, right, you can talk to it is our DevOps responsibility to check with the project manager how he has committed. Mostly, right, 80% coverage in the Java, right, that will be okay. However, for the Node.js and other UI frameworks, right, that will be very hectic to reach to 80%. Because of that, right, what we're going to do is we're going to put only the 60% maximum for any UI framework, guys. Okay, so this is how we can do it, guys. We can create your own rule and you can save it as. If you save it as a default, right, any new code is been imposing, right, it will be applied on this quality gate. Okay, this is built in. If you want to make it as a default, you can make it as a default. These are the different options which are available in the SonarQube, guys. In the administration section, right, we have a lot of options. I will allow you to explore, guys, on this part. Any doubt, guys, on the SonarQube installation and the way how we have configured SonarQube with the Sonar Jenkins, and we have created some sample job also, and we have scanned the code and we have published all the code to the SonarQube. If you have any doubts, right, please free to ask anything, guys. I'm happy to help you with that part. Okay, guys. So up to here, I want to cover, guys. So I will share the details. I think I already shared the link to you guys. So one more thing, please update the Google form which I have shared to you. So you will get. I think the URL is the meeting invite may get changed. You will be get notified, guys. Also, we have also created a separate WhatsApp group just for this group. You will get added after updating there. So what I'm going to do is, guys, you can share anyone. I think someone is trying, right, installing and creating VM, and some people are facing issues. So if you want, right, please free to share screen, guys. I will try to help you right now also. Otherwise, right, one-to-one, you can ping me. I will try to reply whenever I am available, guys. If you are comfortable, right, please free to share the screen right now, and we can fix the issues, guys, whatever it is there. So now, right, I'm going very, very slow. Also, right, very, very basics, guys. Once the environment is good, right, we will pick up the pace, guys. We'll go with the Docker, Kubernetes. So these and all, right, very, very basic stuff, whatever I'm covering. When you start at the higher level, right, you should have your environment available in your local. Someone, if it's all up to you guys, please free to share the screen if possible.
Hi, Venkatesh. Anusha here.
Hi, Anusha. Yes.
I'm sharing my screen. Actually, I have installed GitHub, Vagrant, and Oracle VM.
Yes. Great.
Okay. I hope you are able to view my screen.
Yes. Yes. I have seen this. Correct.
Okay. So actually, I told you, right, I'm not able to access the VM here.
Yes. Did you bring up the comments like Vagrant up succeeded?
Succeeded.
I mean, GitHub, Git bash, can you open?
Yeah.
Next to the Microsoft Word. Okay. Can we enlarge the screen once? Okay. You do one thing. Let me share the comments right now. Okay. I think a couple of people also pinged me. So you need to follow the same steps. Let me ping it here again. Can you open the Microsoft Teams? So, okay, I have pinged here in the chat window. Yeah, you can follow the same step here. Yeah. MKDIR, DevOps training. You need to create a folder in the desktop, right? We should not store anything. Create a folder. MKDIR. Yeah. Okay, enter. Now, right, you have a DevOps training folder in your desktop. Okay. Now go to the CD DevOps training. DevOps. You can use the tab if you want.
Yeah, I'm using. Yeah.
Exactly. LS. Currently, right, when I'm trying to list the files, right, I have empty, guys. Nothing is there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize the environment. Can you run the second step? Vagrant init bento / CentOS -8 is there, right? Copy paste and paste it here. Perfect. Enter.
Yeah, I have entered.
Yeah, it will take some time. Now click run the same command ls.
Vagrant.
Yes. So this file is there, right? If you want, you can open the file. Okay, Vagrant file. Here, right, whatever image I have given, bento / CentOS, right? This is my CentOS VM. Okay. In the Vagrant file, we can see that lines. Okay, as you can see here, config.vm.box is there, right? There, bento / CentOS 8 is it. That is my OS, guys. Config.vm, the thing that is in the second.
This one?
Config.vm.box is equal to bento / CentOS -8 is there. That is highlighted, correct. So this is our base image, guys. If you want this Ubuntu, right, you can change the name as per requirement anytime. If you want any help, right, I am happy to help. Now let's do one more thing. Let's go to that forward port is there, right? Config.vm.network forward port.
Yeah.
You have the note. There is some note is in highlighted, right?
Yeah.
Yellow color. Yeah, you can uncomment that one. to uncomment any script, right, you need to remove the hash symbol is there, right? You can remove the hash so that it will get uncommented.
How?
If you want, right? No, you can do one thing. You can escape it and you can exit it. You can open in the notepad also, which is also fine. Right click and open with notepad. That will be very comfortable for you.
Oh.
No, go to the no worries, no need to panic here. Just go to this particular path in your user directory, I think. Okay, Anusha, right? Yeah, you can go to your Windows, C drive users, Anush. Then you can go to the DevOps training folder. Anush, DevOps training. Yeah, you can go to there. Right click, select the file, and you can open it. I think your screen got hanged. Okay. DevOps, go to the file. Yeah, you can open the file in the Notepad++. Yes, we will be very comfortable with that.
Yeah, I don't have Notepad++ installed on my.
Notepad you can open. Notepad you can open, which is fine.
Yeah.
Notepad. Yeah.
I have uncommented this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, uncommented. Right? 80. Sorry, in the guest colon is there, right? There,
Yeah.
please put 80. Now 80. Yeah. Also, you can add one more line for a SonarQube also. Copy the line and paste in the next line. Paste in the next line. Okay. There 9000. Guest is 9000. Host is 9000. We just mapping it, guys. Host to the guest machine. That's it. 9000. Yeah. Save the file. If you want, right, you can. Okay. If we can also put the memory restrictions also. What is your laptop RAM configuration? You can open it.
4 GB.
4 GB, right? Okay. Let's do one thing. Go to the open with again. Notepad++. Notepad. Yeah. Can you enlarge the screen? I mean, enlarge the tab. Notepad. Okay. Go bottom. Okay. Here, right? No. Little bit up. config.vm.provider is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you uncomment that line? Yes. Go to the further. There is some vb.memory is there, right? vb.memory is equal to 1024. No. In the next line only.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Please uncomment that also. Okay. There is some next line also. Can you uncomment? End is there, right? You can end. Yeah, you can uncomment. Here, right? As per your laptop configuration, guys, please place. Currently, she has 4 GB RAM, right? I will suggest to go with 2048. Instead of 1024 means only 1 GB. She can go up to the 2048. That means 2 GB RAM. 2048. Yeah. If you have 8 GB, right, you can also give more as per your requirement. Okay. You can save the file. Now you can save the file and you can exit. Yeah. Now please run the Vagrant up command right now. In the git bash Vagrant up, Vagrant space up. So if you have internet connection very fast, right, it will download in the 20. It will take some time. Guys, please follow same steps, guys. If you have any doubts, right, please free to ask. I'm happy to help you guys. What it's trying to do is it's trying to connect to the Atlassian, HashiCorp product. Vagrant Cloud is there, right? From there, it's trying to download this particular virtual box, guys. Adding box is there, right? It's connected to the since this is I'm using Oracle Virtual Box, right? It's downloading this particular file from the cloud, Vagrant Cloud. It will take some time. This has around 400 MB, something like that. Maximum size will be. So yeah, once this is up, right, you are ready to go. Next time onwards, right, whenever you are restarting laptop or something, right, go to this folder, Anusha, say like users DevOps training folder, right click and open the git bash and run the Vagrant up command. That's it.
Okay, fine. So after this VM is created, I should come to Oracle this folder, right?
Yes. So
then,
yeah, here this will be up and running.
Okay. Directly it will be up.
Yeah, you will have a VM called DevOps training, something like this.
Okay. Okay.
The naming will be like whatever folder name you have given, right? It will take the
Yeah.
name, some DevOps training underscore some hash number it will give, and you will have your VM. Okay. I mean, because ISO file also you can create, that will be tough to understand by freshers. I thought to use this tool. This will be very, very straightforward.
Okay.
Once the VM is upright, you can connect from this mobile external using that SSH localhost colon I told you, right?
Okay.
To yeah, SSH, yeah, correct. Remote host, localhost, username will be Vagrant. Port can be, it may change port. From the log, right, you can see that 2222 or 2200 something like this. And the
Oh.
port you can change it and you can click on OK. Then we are good to log in. Please allow the access. Yeah. I think what is your internet speed? I think this is very fast. I think. Can you go to the Git bash?
Git bash.
I think this is completed. Your network is very fast. From your end, I think. Otherwise, it won't take. It will take more time ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, this is completed, guys. This is completed. She is good. You can go to the mobile external now, Anusha.
Okay.
Click on that. Next one. Now this is VirtualBox. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in the remote host, localhost, host, specify username Vagrant. Yeah. Vagrant. You can save the password. You don't want to enter. In the port, right, 2222. If you want to see the port, right, which port we need to give, you can get it from the Git bash. Click on OK.
Okay.
Vagrant.
Okay.
Password will be Vagrant. Yeah. If you can save the password, that's okay. Some master password will ask. Whenever you're storing password, some admin you can give. Anyway, use your laptop only, right?
Yeah.
Admin. Same thing, admin password. Yeah. Click on OK. Then we are good. Okay.
Okay.
7
Right
characters.
now I'll change it.
You can change something. Yeah. 7 characters. Okay, guys. So your VM is available. As I mentioned, right, whenever some restarter, once you're done with your work, right, you can shut down VM by running VM command called Vagrant space suspend. If you want to restart it, Vagrant up. That's it, Anusha.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. As I mentioned, whenever you want to bring go to the users folder, there Anusha, then go to the DevOps training, right, open the Git bash in that path, then run the Vagrant up. That's it. Your VM is available for you.
Okay.
If you want, we can do right now. Yeah, Anusha, DevOps training. Right click. No, you don't need to click on. No, you don't need to click on the file. Just right click. No, in the folder. No, you have some empty file is there, right? No.
Yeah.
Empty. Right click. Git bash. No, Git bash here. Git bash here. Git bash here. Bash. Git bash here. Yeah. That's it. So you can do same steps. You can run the Vagrant up. That's it here. You will have same user. That's it, Anusha. Anybody, guys, if you have any doubts, right, please let me know. So you can share your screen and we can fix it right now, guys, if there is any issues.
Thank you.
Venkatesh,
Yes, Amit.
this Vagrant, is it a server?
No, this kind of tool, CLI tool, I can say, Oracle VirtualBox, that will be act as hypervisor, Amit. It will be easy to manage multiple virtual machines at a time using the Vagrant. That's why I have chosen the Vagrant. That's it. This is not a server. So this kind of management tool you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is the reason that we did that uncomment? We removed the slash in that Vagrant file. What is the reason for that?
Memory thing. Okay. So by default, right, when you create a VM, right, 1 GB only it will get allocated, Amit. If you want to increase more memory, let's say like she has 4 GB, right, we can allocate off at least like a 2 GB kind of thing. Because we are going to install Jenkins and SonarQube in the same VM, right? That time, right, 1 GB may not be enough. The startup time may get impacted. So if you give 2 GB, right, the startup time can be within 1 minute, right? Both your Jenkins and SonarQube can be started. However, if you give 1 GB only, right, both will fight together, which to take more memory. So just to avoid the conflict, right, we can give more memory there. That's the reason I have asked Anusha to uncomment few of the lines to allow the more memory consumed for the VM. That's it.
Okay.
Any further doubt, guys? If anybody is unable to create any issues, right, you can ping me on the Microsoft Teams. Otherwise, right, as I mentioned, so I will take a session on Saturday, or at least, you can come up with the doubts. Before that, please ping me, guys, if you have any doubts. Based upon the number of users, right, that may be like a one-to-one session I will take. Otherwise, right, like a group call I will take and we can fix it.
Venkatesh, Sai here.
Yes, Sai.
Yeah, I haven't. I just downloaded all the 3 links what you have given to me. I mean, if it is okay, I can share your screen now, or else if it is getting delayed, I can ping you after sometime when you are free.
Installation is straightforward on Sai. Follow the same steps, like git bash first, then go to the Oracle VirtualBox, Vagrant. It will ask you to restart couple of times. So even if you connected, right, install all these 3. If there is some issues, right, in running the commands, right, I will take care, Sai. That's for sure.
Okay. I mean, 1 second. I just downloaded all these 3 things. So what should I do? I just need to install it, right?
Yes. You just double click it. Next. That's it. No need to worry about that.
Okay. After each and everything, I need to restart the session, right?
Okay. It will only ask actually Vagrant. I think it will ask you to restart laptop. So that time you can restart it.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me share the material to you. So I have a separate class to maintain. Okay.
Hi, Sai.
Yeah, hi.
Okay. So this is Lubin with you. So my question is like I want to create a repository. I mean I will download. I mean I can point that Vagrant to my local repository. This is my CentOS, and I can using that I can install my VM.
Yes, Lubin.
Yeah, oh, Venkatesh. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No worries, man. That should be okay. So one small thing, I shared the details here, guys. So Jenkins installation guide and SonarQube installation guide. You please follow it. Yeah. Yes, Lubin. So what you are asking is you are going to create a repository, right? GitHub or repository in the sense?
Repo in the sense, for I don't want to go to cloud and download my VMs. I just want to install a local repo for
Yes. That part, right? You can do it. That's for sure. Once you that is all one-time setup only, Lubin. What is happening is at the first time only it will download. Okay. If you want, right, you can create a snapshot. I think if you are aware, right, you can take a backup. You can create n number of VM from that VM. So 1 minute. I think I have the material for that. That will be very, very overloaded if you go like that, right? Jump on directly, you will get headache. To be frank, I'm telling.
Correct. So basically, what I understand, real world will not give internet access, right?
Yes. No. 1 minute. This is just for your local environment, guys. In real world, right, we don't follow anything. Like Vagrant, we don't use Oracle, we don't use. Just for our development practice, right? We're just using this one. In the real time, right? Nobody is using this Oracle VirtualBox or something.
But Vagrant we will use.
Yes.
Vagrant HashiCorp, right? Yeah.
Yes. HashiCorp Vagrant we can use it. This is mainly for the local, our environment setup, development purpose we are using it. Real time, right? Everything will be on cloud. VMware, if it is in-house, right? That may be like Oracle VMware or cloud, KVM will be there. This is another tool. These two for in-house. For cloud, right? AWS or Azure, Google Cloud, we can use it. This is just for development purpose. So this is also right. We can try to do in the cloud. Probably, your budget will get increased. So, at least like 10,000 you need to pay. I mean, for the cloud to complete all these course. That's why, right? Let's do as much as possible in the local only.
Okay. In practical scenario, yeah. Sorry to disturb you. I mean, bother you. In real environment, how instead of HashiCorp, I mean, this Vagrant, which tool we are using to manage the VMs, Azure VMs?
As I mentioned, VMware and KVM.
VMware and but VMware is a software, right? Yeah, it's a VM.
No. This is not Oracle. Sorry, this is not a virtual box kind of VMware player. VMware vCenter is there. There is a separate tool. Approval, agreement should be there for that. Okay, you have some data center. So all these things, right? You can manage from the vCenter. So you can create a network configuration. You can create a new VM there. You can assign the IP address. All these things, right? You should be taken care of from the vCenter. If it from the in-house. If it in the cloud, right, we have different services. If it AWS, right, we have something like EC2. In Azure, we have virtual machine. So based upon cloud environment, right, the naming convention will get changed. But overall, right, the way how you are creating VM, how you are accessing, right, concept will be same. So wait for some time. So after a week, I think when I start with Azure, right, I will take this one. How to create all this, right? I will consider and I will answer all this stuff. Yeah.
Okay. One last question. Like yeah, Vagrant is used. Vagrant is mainly used for provisioning a VM automatically or communicating to a provider. Like maybe it's a VirtualBox or could be in a VMware. Any provider. That's a use of VMware, because rather going for one by one creating a virtual OS, we are using a Vagrant file to provision a server. So in the same, that's for the local. So if in the real world scenario, which tool we need to use to provision? It's not VMware vCenter, right? It could be another service we need to. Yeah.
Yes, Logan. So we can use Terraform or Ansible. Yeah.
Terraform, correct. Yes.
Any VMs, correct.
Okay. Thanks.
As I mentioned, this is just for local development only. So I don't want to burden you with the cloud cost. So let's practice as much as possible in the local only. After 20 days, right? Once we completed the DevOps tool stack, right? We'll start with the cloud, guys. As I mentioned in the demo session, right? You need to get the credit for that. You can check with friends and you can get a credit card. Not immediately. I will update you guys when to get the credit card details. It won't cost much. 30 days will be free for us in Azure. So we will use like a help as much as possible, right? We'll try to learn within the 30 days, guys. That's why just for buffer, right? 20 days I'm training on the basic tool stack.
Thanks. Thanks, Anish.
Most welcome, man. If anybody has any doubts, guys, please let me know. Otherwise, right, I will wait for a couple of minutes and we can drop off, guys. So I have shared the steps here. Please go through the Jenkins installation and SonarQube installation. Once your VMs are up, right, please install it in your local. If you have any doubts, guys. Yes, Amit, tell me.
Can you share me what are the tools we need to install?
As of now, right, let's not jump into it. I will tell you one by one, right? I'm going to cover, right? So step-by-step process will be there to learn the DevOps also. We are in the touch, we are in the process. As of now, right, let's just install Jenkins and SonarQube, which I have shared in
that Oracle VirtualBox also we need to install, right?
Oh, okay, that one I think I share the links. Give me 2 minutes. Let me find out the data. Maybe in the chart window I should be there. I think maybe let me check in the chart window. In the chart window, it should be there.
For me, I joined as a guest, so I can't read the previous text.
Okay, understood. Let me reshare the context.
Okay.
That is in the first session, I think I have shared. So yeah, it is there. I have identified. One more thing, guys. One more task again. I'm not sure you have tried that one or not. Please serve the job portals for the DevOps. You should be content. Okay. If you want to search for DevOps, right, you need to be content. Okay. Let me share the link. Okay. Yes, Amit. I shared the chart again here. Please copy paste to your local. I think you will lose the access again. So as guys, as I mentioned, right, please update your data in the Google Form page, which I am going to share it again. Also, there is some WhatsApp group also. You will get added by our consultants.